Hey guys, it's the Prepping Preacher. I'm Brother Tim. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope God's truly blessed you. Hey, as the title said, we're going to look at some preppers, and some of them that you better be leery of, so stay tuned. As I said, this is the Prepping Preacher channel. I'm Brother Tim, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope God's truly blessed you. I start off all my videos this way, and here's the thing. If you're new, don't hit that subscribe button yet. I want you to understand what this channel's about, all right? We are pro-God. That means we invoke the name of Jesus Christ. We give glory to the Savior, Jesus. We're also pro-family. That means we support the family. Along with that goes we're pro-life. That means we do not support the murdering of innocent babies. It's wrong, and we'll tell you. We're pro-Second Amendment. Now, that is guns, okay? And we support the right of American citizens to bear arms, to own firearms, things that go bang. We're pro-police and pro-military also. And now, if any of them bother you, if me saying that I'm pro-police and you want to start talking about bad police, me saying pro-military and you don't like the direction the military is going, I'm talking about the troops, and I'm talking about the cops in the street that are filling the gap. And we got some good men and women that are doing what a lot of people don't have the guts to do. And so I lift you up and I thank you for what you've done. But if these offend you, move on, Skippy. There's other channels out there, man. Go watch Beyonce. I mean, go watch Joe crop dusting the Queen. I mean, there's something out there for you. But you guys, if all these you're sitting there going, man, yeah, that's what I'm about. I am pro-American, because that's what it is. Well, then hit that subscribe button, man, and stay with us, because we got a good group. We got a great congregation, and y'all are just blessing my heart, and I thank you. The emails that I'm getting, man. I'm just telling you, y'all are a blessing to me. But now, to the video. There are as many different kinds of preppers out there as there are people. I mean, and we talked a little bit about this in our last Friday live, talking about the different kinds of preppers. But there are some that you really got to watch. And we discussed, like I said, we discussed the ones that are stacking food, and that's great. We discussed the ones that are homesteading, and that's great. But there's other ones out there, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. Well, the first group I want to talk about is the dumb and dumbers, all right? These are the guys, like I said, that they're going to tell you, well, I'm coming to your house if things go bad. Well, that's the dumb part of them. Now, if things go bad and they show up at my house, well, then that's the dumber part coming out of them, because I've told them this ain't where they need to be. They need to prep, all right? And now these guys, they might have a pistol that they bought back in 1995 or 99, whenever. They've never run but maybe a box of shells through it. They might even own a little .22 rifle. They definitely have no provisions for their family or for themselves, food-wise, or ways of collecting water or purifying water. They have no provisions whatsoever, except maybe they bought one of the 4 Patriot packages off of Facebook ads. I don't know. But they call themselves preppers because they have their 4 Patriots stuck in the closet. Or they bought a box of MREs 10 years ago. They're really easy to recognize. These are the ones that wear the urban camouflage all the time. And they buy their clothes from LL Bean, and they're always wearing a Yeti cooler ball cap. And they're driving an economy or how would I say, sensible SUV, all right, with street tires. You know what I'm talking about. These guys, that's the dumb and dumber. That's their first group. They're harmless. Now, my second one is the Bear Grylls of the prepper community. These are the guys that think they're going to survive by hitting the woods and living in a minimalist situation. Now, you got 2 types of these guys. The first type, man, they're watching every season of Alone on TV and all the Naked and Afraid and even the XL series of it. And every time they watch one of them shows, well, they run up to the China Mart and pick up the newest Bear Grylls knife, orange handle with the compass on the end and a whistle on the side. and a Ferris rod, and they think, man, I got this whoop. But they're usually in an urban situation, and the closest they've got to camping is renting a cabin in the mountains. They don't know what it's like to live in the woods for an extended period of time with nothing. Now, the other type, now these are what I call the uber bushcraft guys. Now, these guys, their motto is, all I need's a knife, okay? And you can recognize these guys by the neck knife that they wear, and they've usually got at least one or two bracelets made out of 550 cord, and they're usually wearing a boonies hat. Now, both of those are pretty harmless as far as it goes to you or to your to who you're going to be with, because most of them are lone wolves. The Uber guys they're lone wolves. You won't even know they're out there, man. They're not even starting a fire. If they are, they're building a pit, and they're hiding from everything. Is what it boils down to, and they're eating bugs. But now the other guy, his life expectancy ain't too long. He's close to the Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, he's gonna run out into the park. That's about the closest he gets to the woods, but he's not going to survive. But they're basically, both of them are pretty harmless to you. Now the third group is what I call the Inspector Gadgets. Now these guys, they are into the gear. They buy all the new gear, everything they can. Their biggest wish is that the Home Shopping Network would start selling survival items, and I don't know, maybe they are, but these are the guys that Sportsman's Guide and Ready Reserve will send them a get well soon card if they haven't seen an order in the last week from them. And you'll know these guys because they're carrying everything in the world. Their everyday carry, their EDC, weighs about 70 pounds, and they can't hardly carry it, and they sound like Santa Claus and his reindeers walking, because you can hear everything jingling. But they're into the gear now, and that's what they want, the newest and the greatest gear out there. Totally opposite from the minimalists of the Bear Grylls. And so these guys, like I said, the problem is that they're putting their knowledge in, they're putting their faith in the equipment, not the knowledge of how to use it. And most of the time, they don't even know how to use it. A lot of times, they've never used their gear to check it out, to see if it works and how it works and how good it is. And so, like I said, these guys are pretty harmless. Now, there's another subgroup or a group by himself. That's what I call the tacticals. Now, let's talk about them. Now, the tacticals, these are the guys that they buy everything tactical. They're like Inspector Gadget. They buy everything they can find that's tactical. They get Christmas cards from GovX and Botac, because they're buying so much. They've even got, I think they've got about every load-bearing equipment known to man. Everything from the old Alice and Molly packs all the way to the new stuff. They're running around with a chest rig that's carrying probably 20 AR mags and 9 Glock mags. And well, I say running, that's really a bad word. They're barely walking because they're carrying more gear than the mortar man in the United States Army. They're killing themselves. And a lot of times they hadn't got themselves into shape to carry all that gear, but they have the gear. And usually you can tell these guys because they've got a Punisher t-shirt or a Punisher hat or a Punisher bumper sticker or window decal on their truck. And they are great at talking tactics. They're great at talking about close quarter combat and talking about how they can move as a squadron and everything. That is until a real operator or somebody who's actually experienced it comes around, and then all of a sudden they get quiet. They're not so bold on it. They've maybe even taken a few tactical classes out there, but they've never had some come back down range at them. So it's a whole different animal. These are the tactical guys. We used to call them in the Army the PX soldier, because they'd go buy stuff and act like they're something. All right, but again, now I say these are mostly harmless on that, but there are some of these that could instigate some problems, okay, because of their tactical experience. And man, it probably looked good on paper, but those are the kind that you really don't want to get caught up in. All right, just leave them alone. Now, the next group, I call them Yosemite Sams. It reminds me of the cartoons. Now, these are the ones that they call themselves preppers, but all they really prep are firearms and ammunition. That's it, And they're very knowledgeable. A lot of them are of weapons, but nothing else. And that's the scary part of it, you know. I mean, they can tell you every variation of the AK-47 and which country it was made by looking at it. They can tell you the effective fire rate of every weapon the United States Army has ever used. But as far as the weapons they've got, most of them are what we call safe queens, because they're not going to the range but maybe once a year, if that. They don't put any down range, and so they're easy to identify, and I've never understood this. These are the guys that slap on multiple decals. They got Ruger and SIG and Glock and you name it on the back of the window of their pickup truck. And so everybody will know. And they're wearing the 2A T-shirts and 2A hats and an NRA ball cap, whatever it may be. And, you know, and they're the ones saying, you know, when they pry it from my cold dead fingers, they can have my gun. But I've seen a lot of them boys like that, these Yosemite Sams, though, kind of fold under that, but that's beside the point. But these are mainly harmless, except that they have firearms, and that could cause them to be dangerous. They could make a situation, if they're in your group, make a situation escalate rather quickly because they think the gun is the answer to everything. The next group I want to talk about, they're a special kind of stupid. These are what I call the keyboard commandos. Now, they consider themselves preppers because they think they know everything. These are the guys that are rapid fire on their comments about what they would do, how they would do it, what you're doing wrong. They're very critical of just about everybody out there. And they're never going to get along with people. Now, usually these old skippies are down in their mama's basement, you know, or they're living in the back room and they're 40 years old at their mom and daddy's house, or in the closet at their mom and daddy's assisted living, because they've never contributed to society, but yet they're the internet expert of everything prepping, okay? And they can tell you how to do it tactical, but they weigh 450 pounds, okay? It just, these are their joke, is what they are. And, you know, they need to contribute to society. They need to do instead of run their mouth. These are guys, they're basically harmless because usually they don't even come out of the basement. And, man, the end of the world as we know it could happen, and they wouldn't know it unless it come across on YouTube or Facebook. They don't know what's going on in the world. They think they've got it. And a lot of these are conspiracy nuts too, man. And they're thinking that it's, you know, this is happening or that's happening. They try to put a timeline to it, and they'll tell you how stupid you are if you don't see it their way. And these are guys I just steer clear of because I don't have time to waste with them. Now, the first group of dangerous is the anarchist. These guys are looking forward to the collapse of society. It's almost like they're looking forward to the purge, and many of them have a vendetta against somebody that they want to take out, and so they're just waiting for the chaos to ensue. And matter of fact, they're trying to plan ways of doing it. Some of them have gone to the fringe. And these are the guys you need to run from. They're looking for the no rule of law anymore, and they're looking for that chaos and not realizing exactly what they're wishing for. Most of them have never been out of the CONUS or continental United States to even know what it looks like with total chaos in countries. These are the ones that are meeting in secret, and they're using as much clandestine as they can. Like I said, trying to help the process, make plans to take down the United States. These are the guys that the alphabet, the government agencies, are really watching. And if the truth was known, there's probably already some infiltrators from the government inside their group. So y'all need to leave them alone. Them are the ones to steer clear of because they are dangerous and they're loose wires. Now, the next group, a lot of people have called them marauders. This is a dangerous group. These are the wolves, is what I call them. They are the ones that are stocked up on guns and ammo, like Yosemite Sams, except they do have some tactical experience, and they might have some prior military experience, but they're already saying they're going to take what they want. They're going to come to preppers like the homesteaders, like the stackers, like the Yosemite Sams, and they're going to take what they want. And they've laid out plans on how they're going to assault the Walmarts or the gun shops, the academies and Bass Pros. If the balloon goes up in their area, they're going to be raiding those places. Guys, those are dangerous. Those are not anybody you want to be around. And they talk about how they'll take out a prepper. These are ones that you have to really be careful of. And they form up in groups, and they're thinking it's going to be some kind of like Walking Dead, and they're going to be Negan. But they're going to get a rude awakening, because the thing about it is preppers are also prepared. That's what we are. And they just might get a surprise, because there's a lot of us former military that are not marauders, or not wolves, and we're sheepdog, and we're going to protect the sheep. Now these guys are real easy to recognize, man. They're wearing tactical gear 24/7, okay, and they've got the mirrored sunglasses like they work for the Secret Service. And I'm just, now if this describes you and you're not one of them, I apologize. But they got the shaved head and they've got the bad tattoos on them and stuff, and they think there's something. And usually they'll have their sleeves cut off to show that they've been to the gym. These are ones to definitely avoid. All right, because they're just like the Anarchists, man. They're getting what, and so these are ones to avoid. These are some of them that will be detrimental to your health and definitely their health. Well, if you made it this far, God bless you. I appreciate your time, man. That's a valuable commodity, and you gave it to me, so I appreciate that. Just having a little fun, but these are some groups that are out there, and so you got to be leery, guys. You can't do it on your own, and that's why we're talking about this. You need to be with like-minded people. When I say like-minded people, that means they got to have the Christian Judeo values that we have. They got to have the American values that we have, because if you don't, there's going to be problems within that group. You end up joining up with a group of marauders, or wolves, as I call it. Well, the sheepdog are going to make you fertilizer is what's going to happen. They don't need to come to this neck of woods. I'll tell you that right now, because we do have a solution for it. But what I'm getting at is get with like-minded people, all right? So that way that you can work together. Again, it's just like the church, man, the body. It takes all parts of it to work together. So, hey, always telling you, if you've got a prayer request, please put it in the comments. We do pray for you. And if you haven't joined yet, thepreppingpreacher.com, come up on the site, go to the forum, and sign up. There's a great group of people up there. Introduce yourself, okay? And if you got a prayer request, put it there. Always, you can email me. Email's in the description. Hey, if you like this video, man, hit a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you don't like it, hit a thumbs down. I don't care. But either way, it doesn't matter, man. Just show me you're alive. All right. But now, if you've got other preppers in mind out there, send the comments to me, man. We'll have some fun with them. We'll have some fun. But guys, until I see you again, I'm praying God may richly bless you, and that you'll continue to stand in that gap. This is the Prepping Preacher, guys. I'm out of here.